channel, or welcome if you are new. I am finally back with a budget video for you guys. I've got to tell you, if you have missed my updates on my community tab, I also posted like a little face-to-face video. I have been so sick, sort of a mystery illness. We're not really sure what's going on with me, but I have these really gnarly spots on my tonsils. I have a full body rash, and I've just been down for the count, you guys. And I've tried to film videos on multiple occasions, and it's just so hard because my hands hurt. I developed these blisters on the palms of my hands. I'm thinking due to a reaction to a antibiotic that I took, and they're just super swollen and sore, and it's just really hard to even like hold a hairbrush, hold a pen. So sitting down to film and edit videos, it just hasn't been happening lately. But I've missed you guys. I'm still very much under the weather. I am not well again by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm trying to push through and at least get this video up for you guys. You know, my channel has completely tanked in the last couple of weeks with no videos going up, so trying to kind of get back into the swing of things and just kind of push through. That being said, my hands look absolutely awful, so I've tried to cover them up as best I can, but, you know, there's definitely, like, broken blisters and scabs and, like, open wounds going on, so just try not to look too closely at my hands. But today's video is going to be sort of a recap of my March budget. I haven't been able to film a check-in or any of my transaction tracking videos because it's just too hard to sit and try to kind of film me doing that with the pain in my hands. But I did go ahead and fill in my hybrid budget worksheet for March, so let me go ahead and flip to that so you guys can look at something besides the cover of my planner. And I'm just going to kind of go through how March turned out. With me being sick, things definitely went a little sideways with my budget. So let's just kind of talk about, I guess, the budget in general. I've got everything kind of filled in and closed out for the month. I'll just kind of go through and show you how it all turned out. So, I kind of quit tracking in my calendar here. Not because the system didn't work for me, it really did, but just because it's too much. Too much writing. I kept it kind of to the bare bones of what I needed to write in once my health kind of took a nosedive. So, nothing new to update there. And next then I have my monthly budget worksheet. This is where I write out my business budget for the month. So typically what I would do at the end of the month is I would film a business budget. Sorry you guys, I'm very much out of practice here. And this would be a separate video all on its own. I would talk about everything that I earned, everything that I paid out, and how much I added to my kind of family budget. I'm just going to kind of do it all in one video here just to kind of bring you guys up to speed. I'm hoping I'll be able to sit down and film like legitimate April budget soon, but this is just the best I can do for now. So going over everything I earned from Etsy and from Google AdSense. This is all of the income from Etsy from March, but the Google AdSense is income that I earned in February. YouTube, the ads that roll on my YouTube videos, I get paid from them, and it pays on like a 1 month delay. So I earned $257.92 in February. That was paid out in March. That was from my YouTube videos, and then everything else I earned here came from Etsy. So thank all of you for watching my videos, consuming my content, buying my budget printables. Because of you, I was able to bring in $623.84 this month. I kept my business expenses to the bare minimum. I paid my Canva membership this month, and that was pretty much it. So other than taxes, which I calculated by taking this $623.84 and subtracting my business expenses for the month of $12.99, and then I just took 30% of that net profit there. So that was $183 and change. I round up to $184, and that means I was able to add $426.85 to my family budget from my small business. So thank you all for your support in my small business. That really helps me out. Next then, I have my sinking funds. You can see it's very, very sloppy. I was really struggling to write these amounts in with my hands, and the situation being what it is, which is why I didn't film that process. It was like super slow and still super, super sloppy. But you can see that throughout the month of March, I spent quite a bit from our sinking funds. I'm going to end March with a negative balance on my clothing sinking fund, and that actually happened at the end of February as well, so I am spending too much on clothing, I've discovered. So I'm going to try to keep that in mind. Moving into April, I'm not only going to give myself a little bit more money in my clothing sinking fund, but I'm also going to try to spend less in April, so we'll see how that goes. But you can see throughout the month, the other sinking fund we really used heavily was our car sinking fund. We did get a new car in March. If you kind of missed that, I didn't really do a set video on my new car. I just kind of showed it in a vlog. One of the videos that was on my agenda to film just before I got sick was a new car tour. So if you guys still would like to see that video, let me know. I can have my husband kind of help me film that, and I can still post that for you. But I did get a new, it's not a brand new car, but it's new to me. It's a Subaru Forester, which is the same make and model that I had before, but it's just a little bit of an upgrade. It's a newer year. It's a 2019 model, and it's also a bit of an upgrade in terms of the package that it is. It's a touring model, so it's like top of the line, super, super nice. I'm absolutely loving it, and I'd love to share a little tour with you guys, so let me know if you'd like to see that. But we took the money that in our car fund to help pad our down payment a little bit. We took some money from our tax refund for that as well to make that happen, and I was super, super excited. But that left our car sinking fund here, as you can see, with a $4 balance. So we're definitely going to need to add some money into there for April. Other areas that we did some spending, we spent, like I said, in clothing, but also fun. I had a little girls' night with my close friends and family, which was super, super fun, and I'm hoping to do that again in April, provided that I am well by then. So I took some money to host that, and that was fantastic. Medical, obviously, we spent a bit on prescriptions to try to help with this mystery illness I've got going on, and you know, like ointment for my hands, that sort of thing, all came out of there. And then the other big categories that we spent money in were school, where we bought some spirit wear for my son's track team, and then also subscriptions. We had, let's see, $127 for our Amazon Prime membership, so that was the big hit there. So yeah, we started the month with $3,107. We added a total of $1,700 to our sinking funds. We spent $1,380, and that's going to leave us with a balance of $3,427 in our sinking funds at the end of March. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the page. This is getting lengthy, so this is not filled out completely. Like I said, I just kind of wrote in the bare minimum. I still haven't filled in the sinking fund section or the savings or anything, but this gives you an idea of how we did overall for the month of March. You can see that right around here is where I got sick, and you can kind of see that reflected in our eating out totals. We've done quite a bit of eating out. I can't use my hands, so I haven't been able to do any of the cooking or the housework or anything. My guys have stepped up in a major way to keep the household going while I've been kind of down for the count. But, you know, my son, Austin, who's 14, is in school full-time, and then my oldest son and my husband obviously work full-time, so we've been relying on a lot of convenience food and a lot of eating out to get us by, and our grocery budget reflects that. So I'm not going to bother going line by line here. You can kind of see we've spent a lot in groceries. This is spending amounts per week, so this is what we actually spent in week 3, what we actually spent in week 4, and then what we actually spent. It says week 5, but it's really just those last couple of days in the month. And overall, you can see here, all of our bills for the most part came in under budget. The exception being our Subaru payment, since we did trade in that car for a newer, nicer model. Obviously, our car payment did go up to reflect that, so that came in more than we expected. We weren't planning initially on making that happen in March. It just sort of worked out that it happened that way, so that was a little bit different than we expected. And then just our variable expenses here, so you can see we ended up spending just under $700 in groceries, which came in under budget, which was nice, but you can see we like blew past that eating out budget with me being sick and just, you know, it is what it is, extenuating circumstances. We ended up spending $422.99 in eating out for the month. Yikes. I'm really hoping in April we can zip this up a lot, but I said that at the beginning of March too, and you see how well that worked out. So household was a little bit higher than the $150 I budgeted at $189.61. We used darn near every bit of that gas budget, gas prices being what they are. And the new car has a bit of a bigger tank, and we've just been driving more between spring activities and just like the novelty of having the new car, so there's that. Spending came in right at what we expected. It always does. We do that in cash. Miscellaneous came in under budget here, so not the best month ever, but all things considered, I think it could have been a lot worse. Considering the last half of the month I've been completely out of action. You know, we were bound to spend more with just eating out and making things happen in that regard. And hopefully moving into April, I will be feeling better. Today's the last day of March and I still feel like garbage, but I'm hopeful that we're going to turn a corner here soon and I'm going to start feeling better. But yeah, that's kind of a look at March. Sorry, you guys, I lost my train of thought. That's a look at March and kind of how it all wrapped up. The only other thing I want to do is share with you guys our debt update, because despite all of the chaos and craziness, we did manage to pay a little bit in debt, so that I'm going to do as a separate video. Do I want to do that as a separate video? This video is short enough. Let's just go ahead and flip to the front of my planner and I'll show you guys how we did with debt. So you guys already knew that we paid off our city card in February, so that was really amazing. We moved on to working on our Chase card then, and we made quite a few payments towards Chase this month. So I've already, again, written everything in off camera. We made quite a few payments in March. So you can see we made a $25 payment here. I was taking some of my spending money and adding it to our debt payoff because I wanted to focus less on personal spending and more on debt payments. So we did that. We also took $140 in credit card rewards and paid that to this card. I made my minimum payment of $70 and then the snowball payment of $35, which was the minimum payment on our city card. Since that's paid off, we want to snowball that amount into this Chase card, so we did that. And then that took it to $1,118.83. And I just went ahead and made an extra payment to round it down to $1,000. So we started out the month with $1,393.83 on that card, and with all of these payments we brought it down to $1,000. That's really good. I would have liked for it to be more, but given the amount that we spent in eating out and everything, I'm not mad at it. I'm pretty happy with that. So I am not going to color this in because, again, my hands, excuse me. But just know that if I were to color it in, I'd be coloring it in nice green tones for March, and it would be down to about here. So big chunk of this paid off in March, and hopefully will pay off even more in April. We did make some progress on our other cards as well, but just, you know, essentially minimum payments. So we paid the $156 minimum payment on our Ashley card, and that brought it down to $3,146.80, which is exciting. That means that with our minimum payment in April, we'll be down under $3,000 for this card. That'll be great. Again, I'm not going to color it in, but if I were, I'd be able to color in just a couple of lines here. When my hands have all healed up and I can hold a pen properly again, I'll go in and color these in off camera, but that's a look at that. And then the other card that we have is my First Merchants Bank card, and we just made the $58 minimum payment there. Still not quite down low enough for me to be able to color this in. When I filled out this chart, somehow I managed to mess up the numbers, and this top line is 5,600 instead of 5,800, which is what it should have been. So rather than just create a new chart, I'm just using this one, and I still have not yet gotten it down to this $5,600 mark where I can start coloring this in, but we'll get there at some point. So that's it. That's kind of my March wrap up. It's not the video that I wanted to film for you guys. I would have loved to do it right and write everything in like I usually do, but given my circumstances, I'm pretty darn excited that I'm even sitting here filming this video at all. So I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was a little bit different, and I hope that you guys can continue to be patient with me as I work through this illness that I have, and hopefully I'll come out the other side soon, be able to get back to daily posting again. I cannot tell you when my next video will be. I'm just going to kind of post sporadically here and there when I can. I'll keep you guys updated on my health in the community tab of my channel here, so make sure you check that if you notice I haven't posted in a while and you're curious as to how I'm doing. Thank you all so much for your well wishes and your words of support. It's meant so much to me. And I'm going to try to get my May budget printables up soon. I just have to find the time to sit and write up the listings, which again is tough with my hands being what they are. So hopefully I will have that in the next week or so for you guys. Be on the lookout for that update in my community tab as well. Alright, enough rambling. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll be back soon with regularly scheduled content. And until then, take care. Bye guys.